Hey, everybody. Welcome to Black Span. Me, Nikki, I'm out here chilling. I literally just washed my face and brushed my teeth again from eating lunch. And I decided to go ahead and say what I've been thinking. And now, now this is no disrespect or no distraction or to remove attention from the particular subject. Anyway, let me get started. Okay, so this is me. Excuse me. Oh, shit, I drink it all. I honestly feel like the George Floyd murder was a political ploy, a diversion or a distraction and an aid at the same time. Everybody could see that it was a distraction, but it was also an aid in something else at the same time. So what it aided in was that what I found when I was just looking around through my own personal life and then the personal lives of others and the personal lives of others, it seems as though for the most part as a community, black people were quarantining and they were taking it very seriously. Well, we were taking it very seriously. So, excuse me. You know, I just got up, so. Anyway, so they used that as an aid because remember, we were quarantining. We were doing what we were supposed to do. We naturally wash our hands. Our houses are always clean. You know, if bleach didn't touch it, it's not clean. That's how most of us were raised. You know what I'm saying? Not that we're better than others. I'm just saying that for us socially, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much our norm. So, with that being said, when he passed, they know when we are mad, when we are upset, and if we have something to say, God damn it, we're going to say it. We're going to say it very aggressively. It's not going to be passive aggressive. And I believe that is expected of us. That is known of us. So with that being said, they know how to trigger a certain response from us. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So dig this. We in the house. We're not, when they was saying black people can't catch it, and I was saying that it's a social thing. It's geographical as far as how we carry ourselves. It's like 2-3 videos down. I'm not sure. Anyway, so with that being said, it's as if it was like a catalyst. Okay, because they were petitioning and begging, hey, open the cities back up, open the cities back up. We have to open the cities back up. And at the same time, they were kind of making it seem like it was the black community that was begging for that. And in order to do that, then you see, certain things had to take place. It's like it had to be shown that we didn't give a fuck. It had to be shown that we didn't give a fuck about the 6 feet thing in general at this even though it was a catalyst because we were out there marching and protesting, it was still the fact that we weren't paying attention to those guidelines and we weren't out there in the street dropping dead. You see what I'm saying? We wasn't out there in the streets having flus and stuff like that while we were there, and we were out there in numbers and droves. We were in close in extremely close proximity. So I should have did this in my room with my tripod and stuff. So, with that being said, what we have to understand is that there is also a that's how they ate it. Okay, so put a pin right there. We started protesting and stuff like that. So, and it was also a distraction from. I wish I could have gotten those speeches, but I found a lot of speeches by Dang, this tree is sure blocking the sun. It is right there, too. I could be getting all kinds of vitamin D. That's what I came out here for. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I was making an observation. I was trying to see where I can go sit at, where I could be in the sun. But I have a big shade tree. It's just a shady grove. Anyway, so, well, we have to kind of... Okay, so put a pin right there. So, I found a few speeches from Trump I didn't hear, and there were some old speeches of of Biden's that I knew existed because I heard them. I knew that they were there. And I was also looking for Hillary's super predator speech. And what was that other guy? Oh, I can't think of his name. He was with the head of the KKK. Not Biden. Well, everybody's photographing him, huh? Anyway, the point is, I go looking for these speeches, can't find them. They're gone. They're missing. Okay. I'm going to look up the thing about the sex trafficking. Can't find them. They're gone. They're missing. So I'm like, while everybody's out there protesting, they're like scrubbing the internet of pertinent, you know what I'm saying, of pertinent things. Well, I could only find like a I would say, I'm not going to say not a legitimate news source, but from a small time, you know, not like a nationally syndicated article, you know what I'm saying? I could only find, I don't want to say bullshit because, no, they were good articles, but the point is I couldn't find anything that was nationally syndicated on, you know what I'm saying, the top networks and the top news, whoever specializes in paper news now. I haven't seen a newspaper in a while. So anyway, what I'm saying is that, so while they were, that's one distraction. It's one thing I noticed is the speeches and stuff I was looking for, because I was actually going to put them in my phone and just put them together and then just talk over them and then upload it. Because, you know, I don't do all that editing and stuff like that, right? I just come in and speak and, you know, we say hello and that's it. So, anywho, so now, bam, we have that. Now, another thing that was going on that I didn't know was going on was that there was a, I know there was this whole sex trafficking scandal, the whole Pizzagate thing and stuff like that. So, what I didn't know was that they were, how can I put it? They had just decided not to, even though they had all the evidence and they had an airtight case, they had just decided not to prosecute, what is the lady, was it Hillary? I believe it was Hillary, and it was two other chicks, I can't think of their name. Remember that child that they were caught up, I think last year, and that the child trafficking and all that stuff with the Pizzagate and then the emails for the $65,000 worth of pizza and hot dogs, and you know, shit like that. So, bam, put a pin in that. So it's a distraction from that. You know what I'm saying? No one was paying attention to that, because right now we're paying attention to rioting, to remembering George Floyd correctly and honorably and stuff like that. So it's like the sun isn't shining on me, but I still have to squint. It's like I still couldn't get the rays, I suppose, huh? That's kind of cool. But anyway, so bam, that was a distraction from that. Now, come back to the aid. Remember, we stopped at aid where we were just going out to protest and stuff like that. So, now, remember, there's also a negative propaganda campaign out against us. Remember, that has been going on. That has never stopped. You know what I'm saying? It won't stop until they deem it successful or deem it unnecessary, or we've been eradicated, and you know that'll be the only reason it'll be deemed unnecessary. But anyway, so during the riots and the protests, they were able to reaffirm on not completely, but kind of on a certain level. You know what I'm saying? To some that may be straddling the fence and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That maybe we are this barbarian, and it's like it's never a. Okay, remember when I was talking about the media and how they perpetuate us negatively and stuff like that, right? So, that was like one of my first videos. I'm sorry, you have to go like way down. So, it's kind of like we were able to add to the negative stereotype that already preceded our births. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so remember, because right now there is a sprint for the black man's hand in marriage by other races. I'll get to that in a second, but let's do this right here. So, bam. So, we aided in the negative propaganda campaign against us. Okay, let's not, of course we added to it, but I don't really, it's not that I don't trust organizations that are funded by I'm just gonna say white people for lack of a better term, but I don't trust I don't trust what do you call them, the groups. I don't trust like the movement groups and stuff like that who are funded by the elite. Like regular Thomas and Joanna who are nurses, or who are dog walkers, or who are baristas, stuff like that. I would never side-eye their contribution. You know what I'm saying? But when the elite do it, you know what I'm saying? Because you kind of know, you get what I'm saying. So, an example, what's that white guy's name that Obama gave that $8 million to? He funded Black Lives Matter. You see what I'm saying? And I was watching, what's that dude with the dreads and the glasses? Oh my God, I watch him all the time. I'm getting such a brain freeze right now. So, anyway, you know what? Backtrack. I was getting off topic. So, all that, it coincides together, but I don't want to interrupt the flow in which I'm going to deliver it. So, bam, we're adding to the negative propaganda campaign against us. Okay, so now let's go back. We're going to go back to Hillary Clinton for a second. Now, remember, they were all shocked when she didn't become president. Now, remember, she's tied in with the what's that group Martin Singer, Planned Parenthood, eugenics. Okay, she is tied in with eugenics through Bill and Melinda Gates. She is also tied in to the trafficking of humans through what's the lady name with the short hair, the brunette lady. She just got off. I just talked about her during the distraction. I probably didn't say her name then either. But anyway, she's tied in with them. She has got her hands everywhere, and it's like it would be so devastating to us because you could even have, if you go to the library, the National Library, if you read the actual slave narratives, it wasn't like that stuff that you see on YouTube where they was reading it and the movie stars read it. Man, they got so many details. And the white woman, I want to say her name too loud, she might appear. No, I'm just okay, I'm just playing. But they were the most brutal on the plantation. Yes, they were. So we have to understand that they have a propensity to be more violent than their counterparts. Okay, let's do it like that. So the reason why they were surprised is because right now, do you know, we'll be forced to take those vaccinations. It'd be so many things forced upon us right now if she was the president. Till it is fucking ridiculous. Because remember, she's down with eugenics. Remember, they was talking about that that vaccine that they were going to try to make all the kids get, or they weren't going to be able to return to school and things of that nature. Okay, that was also being spoken about during the riots and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going here? I need to get in and wash my face and stuff. I say wash my face stuff. Put on my face mask and stuff, and I need to redo my lace and get ready for my evening. But I just wanted to come and tell y'all that. Well, it's only been 13 minutes. Fuck it. I love it. I'm gonna stay out here. Okay, so they added to that, okay? So I learned so much recently. It's like, because I kept thinking, and when you think stuff, you bring stuff to you. So much information was coming to me that supported my theory. I don't know if that's biased or not, you know what I'm saying? But it just so happened that's what happened on my end. So, back on, we're going to flip it back. So, it's like, when they got us to group together, it supported the fact that, hey, we should open up commerce back. We should open up the city back. We should reopen up certain things. You notice the judicial system is still partly closed, yet you can still go shopping. But, it is what it is. So it's kind of like You know what I'm saying? What is the purpose? What is the meaning? Okay, well, this is what it is. They knew it was some bullshit. They knew goddamn well it shouldn't be reopened. So bam, they distracted us, sent us outside, got us in close proximity. We wasn't out there dying, knowing that we have very strong immune system. That since we have a melanin coating over ourselves, it will take us longer to get sick anyway. Now, I didn't see that or read that in the book, but I did read the studies of melanin by Dr. Laila Africa, and then I compared that with a lot of Dr. Sabi's teachings, and I feel like I'm pretty much on the right path as far as melanin and how it works, as far as once it's secreted from the pineal gland and once it's set throughout the nervous system, etc., etc. So they know that, you know what I'm saying? They're not stupid. They've been studying melanin before we realized we had melanin and what it was called. So make no mistake, we were like the patsy, like the crash dummy. You feel me? So bam, they sent us out there. We collectively we're not getting sick and everything like that. And I remember we were quarantining and abiding by the rules, so we weren't actually dying. And we weren't the mass majority that were passing away from the ailment as predicted. So with that being said, they were like, damn, we have to get it to them. You know what I'm saying? And since you know how all of a sudden it went from being acute to now acute, like it went from being just like that to now people saying that you may not have symptoms. You see what I'm saying? So I kind of pay attention to how the media functions within that retrospect. So anyway, with that being said, let's go back to us protesting and stuff. So bam. Now remember, I said another thing they did was help further the negative propaganda campaign and their agenda that they have plotted against us, right? So you remember in the video when I was explaining to y'all about the laws that Obama didn't eradicate and that Obama his shit, and it was very short, but it was, you know what I'm saying, it was just a little bit, you know what I'm saying, of things that he could have done to make it better in the black community and he didn't want to. So anywho, maybe 4 videos down. So remember when I said that there's a negative propaganda campaign, blah, 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 we furthered the agenda, etc., by going out there and acting like people said animals, and they got the elite of us, like our masters, our entertainment masters, to tell us that we was acting like animals. You see what I'm saying? So once they said that publicly, it's like all the world saw was this and animal. You see what I'm saying? Like, we been knew that. Y'all been saying that about them. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, back to the negative propaganda campaign. It's kind of like, I don't want to say damn if you do, damn if you don't. It's kind of like if you're not hip to the games that they play psychologically on us as a community, we'll always seem to fall for the okie doke and help them to further their agenda. That's why I always say we need to group together. We can at least be neighbors for the most part. Even if we're not talking and communicating on a regular basis. I should walk outside and see nothing but black neighbors. You should walk outside and see nothing but black neighbors. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with your grandmother's communities and your mother's communities. Those are like typically nice neighborhoods. I like older houses because of the yards and stuff like that. I don't want like a pool in my backyard and then can't even walk around that bitch. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But then I like land, so I wouldn't destroy a bunch of land and put no concrete pool in it, no way. But anyway, so I mean, I would if it was adequate enough space like it is when you're in rural black communities. Anyway, so that's why I say that, because we can catch on faster in groups. So it's like now you kind of see why in their eyes. Now you see why we only gave that girl 10 years for cold-blooded murder, that cop in Dallas, for cold-blooded murder. You know what I'm saying? Because these are animals. This is why she was so scared. This is why she pulled the trigger. This is what it is. Now remember, I don't know if I made this a post or if I made this a video, when I was saying that they were saying that we are inherently violent. You know what I'm saying? They was pushing that agenda back and when I was in elementary school. I remember that. I remember that was back when we were I think we were either voting for, that was middle school Clinton, so Bush. We were voting for Daddy Bush. when I was I think I was in like maybe the 5th grade or something like that, and I remember they were using Jesse at one point as a distraction. Brother Jesse, they knew they weren't gonna let him be president, but they let him run anyway. I remember I was a little kid when that happened. So, but I've been on their bullshit. So it's like we have to stay up on it. When they slay one of us, we have to look and see what's going on so we can know exactly what to react to. You see what I'm saying? Not that we shouldn't react to the slaying, and I think our reaction should be different. It should be another slaying, but you know what I'm saying, whatever. I just feel as though we should be more vigilant on trying to seek and see, okay, what the fuck they got going on? What the fuck are they hiding? What the fuck do they not want us to see? What are they voting on? What are they talking about? What's out there? Because one thing about it, they're going to tell each other what's happening. They're going to hip each other on to what's happening. And that's the purpose of them running the media, owning the media, so they can talk to each other. It's not just to block us off. We are not that, we are important, but not that important. You know what I'm saying? We may be their bread and butter culturally, and we may be their the only reason why they survived this long. But make no mistake, you know what I'm saying? They are owning the networks and the means of communication to adequately communicate with themselves with no one seeing it, so they can be more covert. They don't have to worry about being covert if you own everything. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we just furthered that for them, you know what I'm saying? And and a negative image can assist in gentrification and all kind of other things that plague our community right now. But we're not paying attention to that because we're out there rioting and protesting without wondering why did they do that. Because remember, there was another guy in Paris and I believe in Australia, I think Australia may be wrong, that was also need. You know what I'm saying? So for us, remember, we're Aboriginals. Look at my video that says we're not African, we're Aboriginal. We're Aboriginal. So there was Aboriginals being need around the globe. So that tells me, I said around the globe, internationally, well, around the globe, the same thing. Internationally, we were being slaughtered around the same time for the same reason, I believe, because we were quarantining. We were not playing. And whenever they do shit like that, we are the intended target. Make no mistake. You know what I'm saying? They were fucking with syphilis. I'm surprised if all this shit ain't predicated off syphilis. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the one thing that hurt us, but it took it too long to fucking hurt us. So they was like, we can't fuck with them on that shit because it's not going to kill them fast enough. You know what I'm saying? Understand how it works, how the scientific mind works. Not even the mind of when you look at the context in which I put everything, you like to put a color on everything, and you want to say I'm talking about the white man, and when I say white supremacy, I'm talking about the system. When I say racism, I'm talking about a system of laws and bylaws set against and subjugate a certain type of people, and that could come in any shade, any hue. Like I say, whenever we go, we're not ready to fight because we haven't cleaned out our own ranks yet, so we don't know who's the race collaborators or not. You know what I'm saying? So, but all those videos are under me. So back to this. So when the brother was slain here, and then here, there, and there may be more, you know what I'm saying, that was blocked from the media. Remember, they own it, they run it. You know what I mean? So we have to understand that there's always a catch-22 when they allow us to do something, because they could have came in with a helicopter. They don't mind dropping bombs on us. They've done it before. You know what I'm saying? So anything that when they allow us to do stuff like that, remember, we can't do it. We cannot do what they allow us to do because it's furthering an agenda for them, and they're the ones that's going to benefit off us doing it, not us. So we have to consistently be like, no, okay, I'm not going to do that. But we can't do that because we don't live by each other. It was so many people saying that, no, I'm not going to protest because I think this way, I think that way. And if we were neighbors, you know what I'm saying? The people that do live in the community live around the older people, and there's none of us there, none of the peers there. So it's like, we couldn't tell each other, now, I'm not going to protest because this, and that, and that. And then, number one, we wouldn't have the high COVID deaths right now that are not being reported in the black community. We're not showing how the only reason that we really kind of started to speculate is because the girl Keisha in Atlanta, the mayor, she actually had it, and she didn't have the symptoms. It didn't hit her like it was supposed to, like they said it would, like it was hitting other people. So, we kind of saw it, but I feel like they knew that it was a time lapse in exposure as far as, you know what I'm saying, when dealing with different people from different environments or climates and things like that. So I think that's fucked up. But anyway, so all this is being discovered and discussed while we still protesting and stuff like that. And you know, Black Lives Matter is funded by that. Man, I gotta go find that guy's name, man. I'm gonna find his name and I put it in the comments. Because when I say his name, y'all gonna be like, oh, okay, I know who you're talking about and I understand what you mean because he's a bitch ass nigga. And you know, I did go on their page and read their about and stuff. And the first sentence is good. The first paragraph is awesome. Then they go into giving a place for gay people to have a voice in the black community, and it went so on and so forth about giving a voice to the black gay as opposed to just the black. And it's like, I'm like, okay, so now I see why they were getting all the work. Because there are a lot of political groups out there for the betterment of the black community. And I was wondering why Black Lives Matter was only just getting all the focal attention. Okay, so now it made sense. Okay, puppet string. Okay, so-and-so gave y'all some money. Okay, I got it. So that's why the first paragraph is you've dropped some names. And, you know, and bam, bada boom, the whole shit. And the about is long. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so yeah, it's like they swindle us. You know what I'm saying? They use us to do it. Just like when T.I. and them said black on black crime is a myth. It is a myth. People say, well, it is. No, it's not. It's Asian on Asian crime. It's white on white crime. They just don't say that because it don't exist. You know what I'm saying? Just like we did with the word nigga all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? The fucking I mean, it's just not logical. It just doesn't exist. What we have to kind of think about is that what it is proximity crime. Like, of course, if you're going to do something wrong, it's going to probably be like where you live at. If you're going to get a DWI, it's going to be by home, on the way home, or you know what I'm saying? If you're going to have a fight, it might be somebody that's your neighbor, somebody you grew up with, somebody you go to school with, you know what I'm saying? So it's like proximity crime. You know, and those are some of the things that Martin Luther King was starting to explain to us upon his assassination in 1968. So, what we have to kind of see is that they use us to stop us from thinking momentarily and only focus on that, because we get tunnel vision, especially if it's something that's anger fueled, because we do have to get out that aggression that we got towards them. And if we save that and pin it up and start plotting and strategizing and living by each other and stuff like that, it's like they let us release that. You feel me? But anyway, so we kind of so it's like it's proximity, right? So with the reason, it's like we can't make up white on white crime and say there is Asian on Asian crime. That you've never heard no one else say that, because it does not exist. They only say black on black crime because, again, they had that negative campaign about us being inherently violent. See, look at all this black on black crime. That's how you know they're inherently violent. You see what I'm saying? So that's a term that they coined to further that. So it doesn't exist. It is a lie. And yes, we do atrocities amongst each other, but they do it to themselves as well. It's just not publicized. You know what I'm saying? We record each other fighting and post it. You know what I'm saying? We record each other or publicly denounce black men and black women, you know, like the opposite sex or whatever. Does that on a public platform. You don't hear the white man out here saying, even though white bitches may not be shit, but you don't hear the white man out here saying that shit. You know what I'm saying? He ain't even stepping that bitch around in the house, and anybody calling her laws, anybody saying nothing. See, it's kind of like they don't publicly defame each other. They don't, you know, you see what I'm saying? And I think it's because, and I think that's why when we're co-washed or brainwashed to say something is acting white, because we're to believe that it's proper, and they have a great way of keeping their image proper and clean, where we have a good way of defaming ours, tarnishing our own brand as a race, you know what I'm saying, to put it in layman's terms. And we are knowingly, unknowingly contributing to our own demise. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if it's something that you realize or something that you would even care is transpiring within your community, but I really think that you kind of should, because, you know, okay, So the last point I'm gonna make about how they use George Foreman. I said, I'm so sorry. I have the grill and I'm hungry. The way they use George Floyd's death to kind of further their agenda with us. Remember the when was it? Dang it, I forgot. Oh well, it was a good one too. I started thinking about being hungry and I'm making jerk chicken for dinner and it's about to go down. Dang it. Okay. If I remember, I'll come back and I'll make another video. I'm gonna come back later. I just need to do my facial and stuff like that. You know, this stuff you do when you wake up from a nap and it's Saturday and you and your teenager at the house. So, yeah. Let me see if it comes to me real quick. Oh, yes. Okay. Another thing that they distracted us from was how white folks were letting us know how ready for war they are. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that they're not real allies amongst us that is, you know, in other races. But what I'm saying is they let us know how strapped up and cocked up and ready they was. And, you know, I started to get a little glossy. It's only because I'm sitting outside, you know. My sebaceous glands are working. I got a little sun peeping through these leaves, you know. And I'm getting my D on. So, anyway, how they use the him again. I ain't even really looking at me. They use they use George Floyd's death to kind of camouflage the fact they was letting us know that they was ready and we wasn't ready. But you know what I'm saying? They think we not ready. Now I would say communication wise we are not ready. The reason why I say communication wise we are not ready is because of the simple fact that we don't communicate with each other because we don't live in the same areas. Like right now, even in the neighborhood I'm in right now, we could probably close ranks and make this a fort or something like that. This whole neighborhood, there's a lot of black people over here, but some of y'all can't do that. You see what I'm saying? Y'all have nowhere to retreat because y'all was too good to pay y'all grandpa on them taxes that they did have. Whether the property was dilapidated or not, the land it set on was good. The mineral rights was good. But no one thinks in that capacity. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we're not ready because we're not close enough to fight and have each other's back. Not that we wouldn't fight and have each other's backs. We just don't live close enough to talk about it and strategize anything and do something that's rational that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm about to go make the jerk chicken. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys for getting sun with me. I appreciate it. Oh, your side is glowing? Yes. Come on, skin. Yes. Took my contacts out, you know what I'm saying? They did a little 1-2 in the eye cleaning. I did a scrub. I'm gonna do a facial. You know, and I think that I'm gonna do another video talking about something because I saw that exotic stuff that 50 said. All right, love you guys. Later.